Hi you guys, Miss Jess here from the Monroe Street Art Center. I've got a fun project for you guys today. All you need is construction paper. I'm actually going to show you, well, we're going to make these snakes. There's two different kinds. This one is an accordion folding snake, and then this one is a chain snake. This one's really long. Drape it around your shoulder. Okay, so for this project you need construction paper or just regular paper, and then you can color it to be whatever color you want it to be. I've got one sheet of light green, one sheet of dark green, and then I've also got some red construction paper that I'm going to use to make a tongue for my snake. So I'm going to show you both ways to make these. This one is a little bit harder than this one is, but I'll show you both options, okay? I'm going to set them off to the side for now. Let's start with the hard one, okay? And then we'll do the easy one. So I've got my two pieces of paper here. If I keep them together, you're also going to need a pair of scissors and a glue stick for this project, by the way. If I keep them stacked together and I cut in at the same time, I'm going to get two of the exact same strip. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to start to cut long, skinny strips. And every time I cut, I kind of want them to be the same thickness, right? Okay, so I'm going to use maybe half of these for my first snake, and then I'll save the other half for the other snake, okay? All right, so I've got all my strips here. To start this project, grab your glue stick, and we're going to make like a giant letter L out of them, okay? So that one piece goes straight into the air, one piece goes straight out to the side. I'm going to take my glue stick and stick them together at this point. Be generous with your glue, right? We don't want it to fall apart. Okay. I lined up my corners just like that, right? Makes a big, like a half of a square. Now, the part that we have to pay attention to is how we fold it. I'm going to start with my strip that's facing down, and I'm just going to fold it back up to the top over my green piece. And then we're going to alternate. So since I did my light green first, I'm going to do my dark green next. And every time I fold it, notice how I'm folding it away from me. My cat is going to go crazy right now, you guys. And then I do my light green, so on and so forth, so that it will make this cool accordion fold. So notice how I'm doing it. I'm just going one after the other, and I'm kind of creasing and folding it every time, okay? Once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty quick. Gotcha? Now, notice how I'm almost out of paper. If I want to make this snake longer, right, this one's kind of just a little guy. If I want to make it longer, I'm going to add a few more strips. So just right onto the end, right where I left off, more glue and stick them together. So that's what I'm going to do now. Take my glue stick, attach my next light green, and then glue stick again. Attach my dark green. Okay, so I just basically extended the two tabs that I have, and it looks like where I left off was my dark green, so that means my light green is next. Back and forth, so on and so forth, until you get all the way to the end. Light green, dark green, light green, dark green. Back and forth. Ah! Teddy. Told you he was gonna go crazy. Dark green, light green, dark green. All right. Now I'm almost to the end. So I'm gonna show you guys that when we run out like this, okay, I've got two teeny tiny tabs left. I need to glue these two together so that they don't come undone. So glue stick. I'm going to add a little bit of glue just to those last two pieces, and then stick them together and push it. I got a little extra hanging off here, so I might use my scissors and just cut off those little tabs. Okay, let's open it up. Ta-da! Pretty awesome, right? Now, one side is going to be the head and one side is going to be the tail. I can use some of my extra scraps and draw those shapes out. So for example, I'm going to use my Sharpie here. Actually, I'm going to use this Sharpie. Head of my snake kind of a shape like that, maybe. There's no right or wrong way. And then my tail for my snake is going to be a long skinny tail like that. Of course, before I cut it out, if I wanted to, I can use markers and add details like eyes or patterns to it, my snake. Snake eyes are really cool. I'll hold it up in a second, but they kind of have like a long skinny pupil instead of a circular pupil like we do. Right, kind of like that. All right, let's see. If I wanted to, I could do some cool patterning on my snake. All snakes look different. They all have a different pattern or color. So cool. Okay, so I think that's what mine's gonna look like. Now I am ready to cut them out and attach them. So carefully cutting along here. I did give my snake a little bit of a neck when I drew it because I'm actually going to need to fold part of that over into a tab so that I can attach it to the accordion that I made. So there's the head. I'm going to cut out a tail. All right, I'm going to save my scraps here because I can use this for the head and the tail for my next snake too. So now, got my accordion, got the head for my snake. Here's what I mean by folding a tab. If you take that little neck part and you fold it up like this, you get a little tab that you can put glue on. And then since it's nice and flat, this will stick a lot better to the accordion part. So I put glue on the tab, and I'm just gonna stick it on. Okay, my snake has a head. And now the tail's gonna go on the other side. So I'm gonna do the same thing with my tail, make a little tab like this that folds over. And that's the tab that you put the glue on. And then the tail goes on the end of my snake. Yes. Okay, the last thing my snake needs is the tongue. So I'm gonna take my red construction paper, and the cool thing about a snake tongue is that they kind of have like a fork in it at the end of it. Crazy. So I'm gonna give this snake a really long tongue. If I cut into the very end here, I'm just gonna cut out a tiny triangle shape. It'll make it look like my snake has a forked tongue, like that. Okay. Maybe I want to make my tongue in a little accordion, so I can fold it forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, and it makes it kind of springy. Okay, I'll put glue on this, and we can add that. Ooh, we can add that to our snake too. Okay, so this is the first way to make it. The second way to make it, which is a little bit easier, is by making a chain like this, and then exactly the same way to make the head and exactly the same way to make the tail. So for this part, I'm just going to use these leftover scraps that I already cut out. Right, I'm going to start with maybe light green. I'm going to put glue just on one end of this tab here, and then fold it into a circle and put them together, one on top and one on bottom, so that they stick. Now the next one, if I want to alternate, I could make a pattern, dark green, light green, dark green, light green. I'm going to take my next one and stick it through the first one, and then put glue on the very end, and roll it up into a circle. Okay, so on and so forth. So I would do light green next. And then finish with my dark green. So of course, if you want to have a really long snake, you could cut up a whole bunch of strips and have a really, really long one. And you could make them all different. There's cobras, there's rattlesnakes, there's constrictors, all sorts of things, anacondas, okay? So now that I've got a chain, I would just sketch out another head and tail the same way that I did it the first time around and attach them like this. So have fun. I hope you guys make a whole bunch of these. You could make a little tiny landscape for them to live on or something too. You could try and prank somebody. It is April Fool's. All right. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.